My light situation is bad.
We're live.
Oh, it's good. We're live. Hi.
Hey. Good morning.
I just saw Carol's private.
Oh.
We needed that. We're both house hunting, so.
Oh, I wish you both luck with that. As somebody who has house hunted several, well, I mean, you guys have probably house hunted several times. Yeah, you get it.
But this market is not like.
This is the most unfun market I've ever shopped in.
Yeah.
Usually it's so much fun. Now this time I'm just like, oh
my God. We woke up this morning, there was a message, can you all do all cash? And I was like, no.
Still no, we don't do cash. No. I need a paper trail.
I was like, still no.
Still no.
Still no.
Have they asked before?
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh. Wow. Okay. So sorry we're late. It was my fault. I went to bed at 3:30 a.m. for no reason. And that's been fun.
Yeah, we talked about this last night. We were like, we all have to get up early.
I know. I couldn't. I think it's because I went to bed at 3:30 the night before. So my body was like, we're not ready to go to sleep. I was like, but you were. So what happened? Anyway, Barrett, why don't you introduce yourself? Sure. And Kara, the Nia.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Barrett Laurie. Over on my channel, I talk about my road to traditional publishing. I write stories about ordinary kids living extraordinary lives. I host Critique Group Live every second Thursday of the month. And on Mondays at 1 p.m., I host an AuthorTube-centric talk show. So come and talk to me. That's it.
And I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, here on YouTube and Twitch and on Instagram. I'm the Vixen of Fiction, and I write historical fiction, sci-fi, fantasy with all the things mixed in, a little romance, a little this, a little that. And I'm a genre hopper. If you can tell, I host AuthorTubers React. You can catch last night's episode on my channel. We had a great time. I also host a monthly wrap up, and I also host
Scripting the Book.
Scripting the Book. It is early, guys, which I love. It's one of my favorite things to do because I love talking about adaptations. If you like any of those things, come and join me on my channel. I've got great co-hosts, and we talk about all the things. And I write, and I am a PUD mom and a kid mom. Yeah.
My name is Kara Brown. I wrote those books on the wall over there. I don't really actually have a lot going on in the writing community. I kind of like slink in and slink out and make snarky commentary and then go back into my cave. So, but I'm here actually today Oh, thank you. I'm here today to actually just kind of work on some admin stuff because Sundays are actually my days off from writing. But obviously, authors, like, we still always have to do work.
Yeah.
So.
Always. I'm looking at the chat. I believe almost everyone knows who I am, but if you don't, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy, but I am also a genre hopper because my current projects are a young adult dystopian romance and a new adult spy thriller. So I write anything that comes to my mind. And I'm in grad school, which will be ending in technically May 3rd, but I just found out that my work office is hosting a party for like the big bosses who are coming to visit the New York office from LA on May 3rd. So my last day of school will be on April 26th, the day that I'm giving my presentation. So yeah, that'll be it. And then I have a full-time job now as a literary agent assistant. So
nice.
Very happy with that. Today I am doing grad school homework. Super fun. Tired yesterday.
I don't miss grad school. I don't miss it at all.
Same. Same.
So I really like my grad school, and I'm actually ahead on everything, but I'm like, with the job, I'm like, I need to maintain my being ahead or I'm going to freak out. So yeah, It's
Mood.
for mood. Okay, let me put up the Forest Room code. Also, if you saw the thumbnail, LP Savage was supposed to join us, but she woke up not feeling well, so it's a bad headache.
Oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah, when you wake up with a headache, I hate that.
No bueno.
And an early announcement that both Nia and I in different states are leaving a little early because we have to go jump in this real estate market because they were like, no, you have to come before the open house or else it might be sold. So welcome to our world. So we're going to leave a little early, but we love you all.
Yes, we've got open houses today and we get appointments before them, before them. And that way, they're like, if you want it before this open house.
Maybe you can get it. Who knows? It's like a game show that's horrible.
I'm so sorry.
Will it work? Will it work? Who knows?
Yeah.
You don't know. Just throw money at it. Just keep throwing money at it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the sad thing is that there's normally houses you can get a good deal on if you've ever been house hunting. The houses that need work that normally are going for only like $10,000 less than the house that's already ready. The market is like on fire, and it's just like you need to put $40,000 into this house, and this one that's already been flipped is only $10,000-$15,000 more, but they're both really high, and it's just like.
And you still may have to ask ask. You know, you still may have to go.
There's no coming in under. There's none of that because there's always 3 to 10 offers on the house.
Yeah, my dad's actually selling his house, and it's a sizable house in a good area, and so when the realtor told him what to like sell it for, his eyes got like really big.
It's a great time. I mean, if you've got to move it, move it.
I'm gonna read out the code because Forrest has started kicking people out of rooms if you like take too long to enter and start, which is really frustrating. They used to do that. They stopped. They're doing it again. I don't like it.
Stop doing
that. Sierra Foxtrot Mike Hotel Quebec Niner Sierra Golf.
Well done. Military flashbacks.
I guess that's one way to force you to be productive. It's like get in the room and start. Go.
Yeah.
Get to work, plebs.
Right.
I do not have my phone with me, so don't wait for me.
I was saying I'm going to use my phone to
vlog.
With people. Yeah, I'm not actually vlogging today.
Oh.
I'm actually talking to Realtor and Ricky while we're on.
So right. I saw you talking to Ricky.
Yeah.
I had to mute my phone because even last night, every 5 minutes while we were doing AuthorTubers React and check out this house I found. Check out, you know what I'm talking about.
Once
so you get a message that says check out this house I found and you got to look at it. So I'm like, I've got 20 houses to look at after.
You got this.
AuthorTubers React. So yeah.
Okay.
We are muted that way when those buzz through. You guys don't have to hear it.
Perfection. Okay. With that, it would help if I had the timer up, wouldn't it?
It's one of those days. It's daylight savings, you know. Maybe that should have been a hot topic. Do we think it's necessary?
Oh, is that what it is? Did that just happen?
Yes. Yeah, that's today.
I love that you're like, is that what it is? Yes.
I'm like, I feel
extra tired, yeah.
Okay, share. Okay, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. How did people do?
I got some of my pre-scheduled Patreon posts set up, so that was good.
I visited with Ricky about whether we could do a basement conversion. I don't think so because it's in a neighborhood. And then also I got some words on a prompt, but I wanted audience help because I love the prompt, but I want to know how we're going to kill the person. So a little piece of flash. The prompt is, I can't think of anything worse after a night of drinking than waking up next to someone and not being able to remember their name or how you met or why they're dead. So are they dead from like bloody gruesome death or are they just a corpse? That's what I need to know to continue my story.
They got poisoned
Okay.
through drinking too much.
They died from an icicle falling on them, and then it melted away, and nobody knows what the murder
How
was.
they got that is.
I love
good.
that.
I almost said
you-
something, and then I was like, "That's a spoiler for a book." So maybe I should.
Yeah, don't say what it comes from because yeah, I've seen this before.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that idea. All right.
Yeah.
Fun. So anyway, that was me.
Yeah. I also like the idea of a mystery where you think you might have done this and you're just like,
yes.
holy crap, did I do this?
Right. Which I think if there's like a hole in somebody, but you can't find the weapon, then wouldn't you assume, like you maybe did it in a drunken stupor? I like the icicle thing for that because it's like you'd see maybe like an injury, but you're not sure what happened to the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Love it. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I like this
Murder.
book. Very cool.
Right.
Nia, how'd you do?
I looked at 3 houses that we might go look at, and I think I've eliminated one. And the kid and I were on the same page. She's just like, yeah,
Not that one.
yeah. Oh my goodness. So
It's even harder to buy a home, I would imagine, for someone else. Like he and I are having a hard time with us. Like imagine
and they asked me to come along, and I'm just like, oh, okay, we can do this because I'm the one who's, I guess, supposed to help them keep their, emotions out of it. But my daughter and I, because she grew up watching House Hunters with me. Like literally, we'd watch it like several episodes a day. Like that. Like we didn't watch regular TV. If we watched something, it was House Hunters and the.
That's so
home
much happier
renovation.
than me watching Law and Order SVU and NCIS with my mom and babysitters.
That's what they watched with their dad. The Criminal Minds is what they watched with their
Okay,
dad.
my mom can't even do Criminal Minds. She's like, that's too sadistic.
Yeah. Me, I was House Hunters and then the occasional Hoarders. I don't know why.
That's quite opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, we were totally into the whole van life, tiny house life. Like we're going to get those and travel across the country. And yeah, she's always sending me videos of those. But she needs to get her big girl house and we're going out again. This is going to be fun.
It sounds like it. You're really ready. I'll message later and be like, how'd it go? I hate my life.
Okay. Let's see some comments.
Candra got some things done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a middle grade duology. Love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Time Change got Eva.
Yeah.
I was wondering why Loki didn't want to get up when the alarm went off. Usually we both get up. He like is just getting up like about 20 minutes ago. So I'm like, oh yeah. Because the clocks do it themselves now. So
I know. I was say ours do too.
Yeah.
And thank God for that. Like, granted, I got
the manual to like figure out how to change certain clocks.
Yeah, no. So I don't know if you are okay with like a quick Kara story time. Sorry, it's your okay. So like a couple of years ago, there was a pagan podcast that invited me onto the show because they wanted to talk about tarot cards, and I was like their person that they could get into the studio, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come on down. And it was right after daylight savings time. And the really funny thing is that I was in Arizona, so we don't actually honor daylight savings time.
Oh,
right. So they told me to be there at 8, but for some reason, the person that did the recording showed up an hour early. The person that actually did the majority of the speaking showed up on time, and then I showed up late. And they asked me where I was, and I sent them a picture of my phone with the time in the center. And I'm on my way. Like, I have 15 minutes. And they were like, no, you're late. And so they all decided to blame like Mercury Regenerate for it. And I was kind of like, no, I think whoever operates the cloud thing didn't realize that we were in Mountain Time. So I don't think Mercury Regenerate's going to come in and fuck with the time.
Yeah.
World Time Buddy is your friend. But also, my work is all on Adele, and we use Microsoft Outlook and everything. So there's a hack where you can have 3 different time zones show at the same time. And I only show 2 because I really only have to deal with LA and New York. But yeah,
I do that with Google because you can do that with Google Calendar as well. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm a remote project manager. So everybody that I work with is in a different time zone. I got one guy in Japan. I've got one in Eastern. I've got one, like, they're all over the place. So every time they're like, hey, let's meet at this time, I go straight to the calendar. I'm like, okay, that's this time for me. Okay, cool.
So I used to say EST, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start saying ET. That way, if they look it up, it'll be Eastern Standard Time, if that's what it is currently, or it'll be Eastern Daylight Time, if that's what it currently is.
Yeah, because I thought it was EST, and then it turned into EDT, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm like today, yeah.
You kids and your acronyms.
I'm like, can't we just use EST and everybody just know that we're on daylight savings?
Now we just say Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern.
Yeah. But then there's but then once I was on AuthorTube and I found out that like Australian Eastern time is different, I was like, oh, can I just say Eastern or no?
Because then we do that. We're Americans, so our Eastern is the one that counts thing that we always do as Americans.
I know. It's like I don't want to do a stupid America first, but also like on the count, like if you go through different time zones, like on a selection, it'll be like Eastern, US and Canada, and then it's like all the way whenever it's like Australia Eastern. I don't know of anything else that's like called Eastern.
Yeah, Richard, I feel that there's somebody I do work for in England, and so when they said, yeah, I'll meet you at blah 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 UTC, I was like, what is that? Is that a disease? Like, what happened?
Why?
Like, I need you guys to send me like a notice in the mail that you're changing acronyms for time zones, like seriously.
Crow also suggested poison in the story. So I was saying that, you think that they just drank too much, but it turns out that there was poison in it.
There's a nice book on it if you want to look it up. I'm on a list, by the way. I have too many of these books.
Oh, poisons. Okay.
Yeah. Also, DP Lyle, who we interviewed on the podcast, he wrote multiple books called like Forensics for Writers.
Thank you.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Also, listen to his episode on Writish because he has the like best Southern drawl. Yeah.
If you can't afford this book, let me know. And I'll just go through and take random pictures and send them to you.
You're a gem.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's awesome.
I love the murder in the morning. Does anybody else do that where you see a prompt and it wasn't even your intention to write it? I was actually getting it together for a CGL thing and I saw it. I was like, ooh, that's fun. I could write a little story about that. Like, that's not how your brain's supposed to work, I don't think.
We're writers.
Yay.
That's actually pretty, like, I would expect that from a lot of people. My brain just doesn't work like that. So
No.
I want to say yes. I just can't remember what it was.
Oh, the prompt. It's about the dead. But you wake up next to a dead body. I know
your prompt. I know your prompt. I'm just saying, like, have I written something based off of a prompt? Yeah. I'm like, I think I did. Like, but
yeah. I mean, I always try to keep them short so I don't waste a lot of time on it. But like, if I see something like, oh, that'd be fun. It's like, let's just write a scene.
Yeah.
Wake up. Yeah. See, the Airbnb thing, we're all about it because I'm cheap and I want to offset that mortgage. So if we can figure it out. Hey, Laura Nettles, yay. Wasn't horror. So what is UTC? Do we ever figure out what it stands for?
Universal Time
Central?
No.
Universal Time Clock?
Oh, maybe.
I'm guessing. I have no idea. I'm just like, it's another acronym. And as somebody from the military,
Coordinated Universal Time. But it's in UTC.
I
They
don't
like-
know.
Why is it not just called CUT then? If it's Coordinated Universal Time.
Oh, nothing makes sense. I don't understand.
I mean, before it was called Greenwich Mean Time because that's where like the clock was that like then affected everything else in Europe. I took a class that was an English class, but it was all about like the history of time. It was weird. And then it is okay. So UTC is a coordinated time scale maintained by the Bureau International des Poids et Mesures. So obviously something in France. It's also known as Zulu time, but it's been called that for I'm sorry.
Why are we changing things? Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm too old for new tricks.
You kids and your acronyms. Get off my yard.
Off my lawn. I just need a lawn. Oh, I like that. Okay. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of fun ways to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Can you guys hear that in the background? That humming?
No.
Thoroughly. I can now that you mentioned it. I'm like, yeah, but
Okay.
Is it a heater?
No. Yeah, it's doing something. I was actually trying to reach my husband, but I think he walked outside. So I'm like,
I
didn't
can't hear
That's
it.
why you said my heater is loud. Like if I turn it on, you'd hear it. Like
okay. Yeah, no, actually it's my unit outside
oh,
that's
right.
humming. Yeah, so
Oh.
I'm instantly concerned, but as long as you
Yeah.
guys can't hear it,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm okay. I'll
Oh
block
gosh,
it out
I
for
always
you.
get nervous about like things getting loud that weren't
Yeah.
loud before. You're always
You
like, oh
suddenly make a
no.
noise.
Yeah, no, my first week on the job was work from home and there was like a lot of construction happening. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And in some cases, they're like, we can't hear it. And other times they're like, yeah, we understand. Because they also are in like New York, but yeah.
I love it when I have meetings with clients and like I'll be like, you know, I won't be dressed like this, obviously. I'll be slightly more like professional and we'll be having a discussion. Suddenly like Ranger just shows up and sits on my lap. And so I'll try to keep talking with the dog.
But now you're
Oh,
kind of like a Disney villain with like the animal in
Yes.
your lap. Like, yes.
Yes, let me organize your business. Let me explain to you what priorities and statistics are. This will be wonderful. Just let me organize your shit.
I have a question for you. What would you say is the main thing? I don't know much about project management. Is the main thing like organization? Do you have to be like incredibly organized because you're essentially organizing a project for folks? Is that kind of the main thing?
That is such a fantastic question. So it is 1 part people skills, 2 parts organization, and 3 parts telling people what to do.
Oh.
So a lot of what I do is I have mild conversations with individuals who are kind of like struggling with work. I'm like, well, you know, tell me about what's going on. And they tell me these things. And I'm like, oh, you know, that's very difficult. And, you know, I can see how this is impacting your work. How can we make this easier? You know, I have like those conversations. Yeah. And then sometimes like last week, somebody will turn something into me and I'll be like, what the fuck is this?
You'll pull an Edna from Incredible Sue. Pull, or no, the first one. Pull yourself together.
Yeah. Well, like just to give you context, this guy wrote like a target audience document, and I know a little bit about writing for target audiences. So I read it, and I was like, "Were you stoned when you wrote this?"
I would love to get paid to talk to people that way.
Yeah. So it was just like, you know, because he's kind of like a surfer dude, like, hey, da 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 da. Like, no, seriously, were you stoned? Because this is absolute trash. Like, you have 4 pages of rambling. It needs to be like 3 paragraphs. It's like, I don't know if I can condense it like that. I was like, you have to. This is Shark Tank.
Oh.
Love it. Oh, is it really Shark Tank? That's fun.
No, I mean, no, I say it's Shark Tank because they understand that, because it's like time is money. And if you take 3 pages to explain something that I can do in 1 sentence, you're messing up somewhere. So consolidate.
You have to sell it and sell it quick.
Yeah.
Like this is what it is, to the point.
Yeah.
So you're good at that.
I try, I hurt his feelings and I didn't apologize for it. I just told him to be better.
I'm here for that energy.
You're my hero. I love all of that. Ricky, did you hear that? I'm your project manager. I'm not your husband.
But yeah, so it's people skills. It's kind of understanding what it is that you're doing. And because I work in like different industries, sometimes I have to like pull somebody to the side and say, okay, cool. I know we just met, but I need you to explain all this to me like I'm 5 real quick. And so they do that, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I have context to work off of. Because some PMs just walk in and they're just kind of like, we have this deadline. I was like, okay, well, that's a 5-step process. That's going to take at least 3 weeks. So you have to like move that deadline like back. There's no way.
Yeah, that's
Okay, let's be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for explaining it. I was
You're
curious.
welcome.
It's quite curious.
The forest room code, I think we're going to just start because I don't want to get kicked out of the room. So in 3, 2, 1, happy productivity, everyone. Okay. I was like, why is the on-screen timer taking forever? But we're good. How did everyone do?
Got shoes on and got dressed. Win.
I looked over an outline trying to decide if I'm going to do a short story based on a fable or a fairy tale because I need to get this short story done.
I vote yes. Or are you
haven't-
saying you needed to decide which one?
I need to decide which one because we're doing a flip to fable, but I think they picked a fairy tale for me, which is going to be longer if I do a fairy tale. Like we did like flipping a fable and flipping a fairy tale, but this one is more of a fairy tale because a fable is very specific thing. So
can you switch it? Can you reach out to Bex and be like, hey, can I do a different one? Or
yeah, I might. That's what I'm probably going to do. So I've been looking up that and just playing with a few things to see what I really want to do. If I want to just go ahead and do another fairy tale or actually do a fable. So, but I need to get started because I've got like 10 days. And you guys know how I am.
I know, but you got it.
Big thing. So it'll be actually easier if I find a fable because it's like that's nothing
Shorter.
else to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I just did like bullet journal stuff. I haven't started on homework yet today, but I did the first sprint I compiled the list that Kelly and I are going to be asking, the list of questions Kelly and I are going to be asking Kate when we interview her today. So
nice. I scheduled some social media posts, and then I went and looked at the drafts that were sent to me for the Caro Tarot project because I was going to have illustrations on the inside. So I was looking at those and making sure I had all of them done. This is the last batch that I sent out, so I'm like, can't wait for it to be done. 2 years in the making.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
So,
let me set the forest room. So I've been listening to like my super long, just every song that I like on my phone playlist that I created for like a really long car ride my mom and I were taking. And a song ended like 5 seconds before the sprint ended, and I was like, that worked because I didn't have to hit pause on like a song starting while fumbling for the computer. I was like, thank you for looking out for me. My sleep is shit, but at least my streaming's going okay, minus being late.
I did ask Mr. Brown about the AC unit. He says it's just it's just one of the things in overdrive to keep us warm. Which I think for people,
is this a cold day for you guys?
It's cold, yes.
I mean, yeah, Florida cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to put socks on my toes. It's brutal.
wow.
I know.
I feel like
I'm dressed under my robe because we're having cold again too. It's like
I'm dressed and I got cold, so I'm wearing my
33 degrees. So I'm like, fun.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to somebody because they were
26.
They were trying to give me what about being cold, and I was like, look, I grew up in a place, or I didn't grow up, but I lived in a place that's like 120 most of the time. So like, I need you to cut me a little slack.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and Eva just popped in. See, 57 is cold for us too. So.
Oh, see,
I would be so happy with the 57.
I'd be like singing in the streets, like yes.
Like 30s is better winter. Like
normally, I would say like 57. Like, can't we bump it up to 60? But like now, I'm like 57. If it's sunny, I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah. By March, I'm over the cold. Like I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for spring to sprung.
I'm over the cold by like mid-January.
Yeah.
You know. But like in March is when I'm really like, I know spring doesn't start until the 20th or the 21st, but it's like, come on, please.
Yeah, it keeps teasing us because it starts teasing us with spring weather in
Yeah, I've
February.
had some like really
And
good
it's
days.
just
Like
like,
my
what? Once you go to 69 and in the low 70s, it's like, don't go back.
like
We're
my
here
first
now.
day in the
Let us
office.
stay.
My first day in the office on Monday was such nice weather. And then 2 days later it was snowing.
We had a weird, like, so Mr. Brown and I wake up at the crack of dawn to go for a walk, right? And we went out one morning. It was like kind of like warm and muggy, right? And I was like, that's interesting. And then by the time, like, it was warm and muggy when we left, and then the hour and when we came back, it was frigid. So like that cold snap from like the ocean had just like come in. Of course, like when you live on like the coast, like the weather changes like every 15 minutes. So it's like,
Yeah.
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 Yesterday,
not
we
used to-
literally-
I used to live near the East River. So it would like always be colder there than what. So if you look at a weather app, New York, it always goes off of what Central Park says because it's it's not near either river.
Mhm.
And I would like be like, that's not how it feels though because we live next to the East River.
Yeah. Yesterday, we opened up the first thing in the morning. We opened the windows and put the fans in the windows because it's like not quite air conditioner, but we were this close to air conditioner. 3 hours later, by the time we went out to go house hunting, it was freezing. We're like, close the windows. Like,
Oh. Yeah.
this is what we deal with. So I'm cold in the house. I don't know what it's like outside. I'm about to find out in a little bit.
You always have the robe.
Do you both want to do your outros now, or can you stay for this sprint? That is
I'm going to go ahead and go on this
okay.
one, so that Ricky cannot be nervous and not be dancing outside this door right here, which is
Yeah, I probably better because I can do one more sprint, but I'll probably have to leave like immediately after it's over. So I'll do mine now. That way, if I have to cut out during the sprint.
Yeah.
Because
So,
we have an 11
Barrett,
slot.
Barrett, you're first. Nia, do you
Thanks.
want to enter the code?
Yeah.
Thanks everybody
Love it.
for hanging out for a little bit. Be sure and subscribe to everybody on screen. Love them all. I hope to see you all soon and have a wonderful, productive rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, here on YouTube. Thank you, Zara, for having me. It's always a fun time. I like getting up and getting started. And you have been making me a morning person. Usually mornings are like I can get up and do busy work because I have to start moving. But to get up and write is a whole other thing. So I'm liking this. So thank you for that. And I'm going to hop into this room now if I can get the code right.
I will see you all later. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Happy house hunting. Okay.
Oh, one more
Oh,
letter.
sorry.
I'm like
5 Yankee, Quebec, Bravo, Kilo, Juliet, Sierra, Golf.
I was at Sierra Golf. I shouldn't. If I'd have known I was at Sierra Golf, I would have just put in the last two because they haven't changed lately. So
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna start before we lose this room. So in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. How'd you do?
I did pretty good. I finished doing the manuscript tracking thing I told you about for Karos Tarot, and then I started working on my writing production schedule for the rest of this month and next month, since it's Camp Nano next month.
So productive.
I got to try.
I love it. I love that for you.
Thank you. What about you? Did you try school yet?
No, I think I'm going to do that after Kelly and I have interviewed Kate, because I'm just not in the right mindset to be like, this is how much the loan is going to cost if I were to start up this business for real. It's like I have all the research staring at me, and it's like I could write a few sentences about it, but my brain is like, nah, do it later. So no, the answer is no. I haven't done it yet.
No. Yeah. Well, sometimes when your brain's not in it, it's just better to not fight it too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not due until not this coming week, but the following week.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain is like, you don't need to. And I'm like, I mean, that's true.
So I want to get it done, but like, I don't. I want to nap.
Yeah. So I'm not going to nap because then I won't get work done today. But I'm not going to force myself to do it now when I have like the rest of the day, like the afternoon to basically do it and evening, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be seeing someone later today because they never wrote back. So
that's no good.
Yeah. I'm like, you gotta confirm that it's going to happen. Otherwise I got shit to do. I always have shit on my plate. I move stuff around when I know I'm going to see someone. Yeah, just write a scene and see what you think. Yeah. You can also always, send it to like the VIP club for feedback. Things like that. Language center engaged after the first coffee. SD Huston left. Nia left, which is why just the two of us on screen. I did look up Fahrenheit and it sounds ridiculous to me. Yeah. For people who don't know, Nina's in Austria. So, basically, just not America. 98 words. Awesome. 731. Killing it. Love that.
Nice. Well done.
Broke a work system.
Like a workflow system?
That sounds bad.
Right? It's kind of like
more information. That's awesome, Tamara. Only wrote 354. Well, I haven't been writing at all during this stream, so
everybody going only all the time. That's like a thing I usually start ranting on in my freaking sprints. Like, it's not only, you got those words. You didn't have them before. They're yours.
No, progress is progress. Also, when people are like, oh, you just feel this way. It's like, take that out of your vocabulary.
Oh, hello, sir. Are you a needy boy today? I think you are. His daddy's not here. He's like, where's Papa? Is Papa coming back?
Yeah, I mean, you suggested rewriting a scene. I think you should write like a scene that you haven't written yet in first person, just so that like you can be like, does this feel better? Not thinking about like the editing that you'd have to do to switch it, or be like, I think just like as if you were drafting, when you're drafting from scratch a certain scene. So maybe the next scene you have to do, just write it in first and see how it feels. So like stay in drafting mode is what I'm saying. Don't switch into editing mode, because it might like screw up how you feel.
It'll throw off your groove. We can't have your groove get thrown off. You've thrown off the Emperor's groove.
Sorry.
It's such a good movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it in too long, but I have it in my iTunes library. People are like, "Why do you buy things on iTunes?" I was like, "Because I don't always like rely on having internet when I'm watching a movie or
Mhm.
listening to music. I just want it." You know? And like if I'm gonna like I'm supporting the people who've made this stuff. Like it's not that I don't do streaming. I do, but if I want something in my possession, then I'm gonna buy it so I have it in my possession. And by I'm gonna buy it, I mean I'm gonna use my mom's money to buy it because then she watches the movie with me anyway, but then I can watch it as many times as I want. So.
Yeah, there's been like a shift towards like the lending culture. It's kind of like you don't own anything, you just rent it.
Yeah.
And I'm a materialistic person. If I buy something, I'd like to keep it. I know I had
I'm
like
that way too. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not
Like,
sorry.
like there was a God, I was quite vexed. I was quite vexed at this situation. Because there was a song on Amazon that I really liked, and I have like Prime, so I was like I added it to my library and everything like that. And I don't know what happened. There must have been like some kind of tiff with the artist or in Amazon or something, but
Of
they took
course.
the song down. But they took the song down. I was like, like I did actually pay for that song. Like my monthly subscription does allow me to have access to that song. And so like at that point, every time I hear a jam I like, I just go ahead and just download it straight to my computer now because like that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there have been some things that aren't available like on iTunes. Like there's this song that I heard in a TV show or something, and it's not available. Like it's only available through Spotify. And I don't have the Spotify streaming that like I think would let me download it. I don't pay for Spotify because I don't use it enough. So I don't like anytime I want it, I'm like, oh, I hope it's on YouTube. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not, where it's like, you can listen. Then other times it's like, it's blocked in your country. And I'm like, what? So in general, if I can have it, I have it. I have my music so that I don't run into these problems. But if it's like a version of a song that my mom really likes, but I don't like that version as much, and she's like, oh, can we play it? I'm like, we have internet right now and we're in the car, so I'm playing it through YouTube, so I don't have to buy this song. Like,
yeah, there was one song, I think it was on like that cheerleading show Hellcats. Like that opening song when she does like her audition. I could not find that anywhere. Like I couldn't find it on the show official soundtrack. I couldn't find it on the artist. Like for some reason that song is like the most impossible song to find. And I don't remember what shady way I went about getting it, but I did get it. But
okay, I was gonna say, did you get it?
Yeah, I'm determined. When I want something, I'm like, I'm gonna get it. You can't stop me. Like there's one funny song. He goes by Loop Daddy, but it's like Mark. I can never say his name. Mark R. He does like the loop kind of music system stuff, and he did like a freestyle with a rapper, and it was like Move Your Body. That's the name of it. You can't find that song anywhere, but it is like he's got like the 4-minute clip of it on his channel. It is the most addictive stuff I've ever heard, and and the lyrics are absolutely ridiculous too. Like completely cartoonish, but I'm kind of like, I have to have this song, and I couldn't find it, so I had to shadily go get it. And then I threw him some dollars because I felt really guilty.
I mean, TuneFind is like such an amazing website where it'll tell you the music that's in a show. Because sometimes Shazam is like, there's too much dialogue over this, we can't tell. And I'm like, you should be able to at this point, but okay.
Yeah.
So TuneFind.
What's going on? Daddy's gone. I'm sorry, honey.
Is Daddy the favorite parent of the house for the dogs?
That's hard to say. He feeds them more, but when push comes to shove and like they freak out more when I'm not around than when he's not around. But, yeah, Mr. Brown went to go help my dad fill up a moving truck because after everything I went through to move to get here, my dad's moving away, and I was like, That's the end of my story arc. I'm living a tragedy in this one.
I know. You really are. Oh my god. It's like the saga that never ends.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that moving company went bankrupt, so we have to go through extra steps to go get our money back too.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. Like, there's an arrest warrant out for the CEO right now. And then if we really want to push, basically what happens is he goes to jail and then they put a loan out on him to pay us.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, like,
but
I mean,
like, I feel like you're just never going to see it if that happens.
well, the lawyer says that once the court gets him, like once he's like in there and he's going to get sentenced, because she's like, you're not the only people he screwed over. So once they get their hands on him, then they're just going to issue the loan and pay us back our $20K. So, I mean, it's a sizable chunk. So I'm kind of like, if I have to pay $2K to get $20K at this point, I'll probably do it. So, oh, my life feels so much easier. I'm glad I can be a comparison point for you. Like, absolutely. But yeah, so at least we're both working right now, so that's nice. Knock on wood. So
yeah. I mean, shitty, but also at least you have some things going.
yeah, I've got like I said yes to too many projects, but I'm also okay with that because obviously I want to add more to my brag wall behind me, right?
Yeah.
So like I've got one comic script in the works. I'm trying to finish up this series it was supposed to be a series, but I think after Dressed Up, I'm just going to have one book and like compile like some different stories in it. I don't know if anybody in the comment section remembers this, but do you guys remember when there would be like stories out from like multiple points of view? And they would all kind of center like on a place, but not like on a central like storyline, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of that anymore. And I don't know if that's just because of the current marketing publishing trend right now, but like,
I mean, probably.
Yeah, I was like, I think I'm going to go back to that. And if it's not well received, I'll eat it. But I'm like, that's just kind of like where my gut for the story is going. Cause it's one big story with like short stories revolving kind of around it. And I think I just kind of want to work those into that big story, kind of like interludes, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I like that. I like reading stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's definitely the market right now. But I always like those stories.
Okay, good.
And then it is around a specific event, but I really liked, and this was like the first time I'd ever really, really appreciated, or I think even read a multiple point of view story, The View from Saturday, where and I just love that. So I always love multiple points of view. Actually, I take it back. I don't always love multiple points of view because Allegiant, they did it for a specific reason, but it wasn't well executed. And so that I wasn't a fan of. But in general, if it's, yeah.
Yeah, the one I remember the most is, I'm pulling back. Sorry, I'm going through my mental Rolodex and flipping it through. It was a book about 3 women. And the 3 women had nothing in common other than they would go to like this bar together and like have a couple of cocktails. I don't even remember how these women met. Like now I'm kind of like thinking back on it. I'm like, I don't know how they met or why they got together or anything. But one lady was the owner of the bar and she used to be a singer. And things happened and she couldn't sing anymore. So she went back into like, the bar business and she had a son and she was having to deal with, not protective services, but like, I can't remember what they're called in England. It's the England equivalent to it. But they basically came in and said, you can't have your son in the bar. So you need to figure it out. Right. Like, so she was kind of coping with that. And then there was another woman who was a model and she was in a semi-abusive relationship with like her husband. So that story revolved around her and that. And then there was another woman going like through menopause and like all this other stuff. It was just completely different women from rapidly different walks of life, and they would just kind of like every now and then like once a month come and hang out like at the bar and be kind of like, so how's your life going? It's like, oh, it's great. And they're all suffering.
I'm searching for this because it sounds like something I would want to read.
I don't
in the free time that I don't have.
Yeah, I can do a search for it and see if I can find it, but I don't remember the name of it. This is a book I read back in like 1997. I think I was definitely, 90s, late 90s. I have to find it. I don't remember the name of it. I think it was one of the books that didn't make the the PCS when I joined the military.
I don't know. I want to do this, but at the same time, I really like that I basically have one thing hanging on each wall in my living room.
I get somebody that shows up in like my live streams now and then. They're kind of like, "What books did you write?" And I'm like, "Well, I wrote those books."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of get it because I know there's like commentary on kind of like people like doing live sprints and giving writing advice, but they don't have anything published. So like I kind of respect that, but at the same time, like, can you like approach it in a way that's not rude AF?
Yeah, because like sometimes I show my books and other times I'm too lazy to pick them up because like altogether, you feel them. Like my books are normally.
You're so much better than me. I don't have any of my books in here. I just have the covers.
Oh no, it's when I'm a guest on someone's stream, I normally have it, but then so I was on Nia's channel last night for AuthorTubers React. So I have them right here. But in general, like for my own streams, I'm like, I just say what they are, like the genres, and then people can click around like my Ko-fi page and see them, or go to my website and see them. So I'm like, I don't need to pull them up. So
I might have to like tackle you later to figure out the Ko-fi page thing because
yes,
I just don't understand it, and I know that you're way more savant with it than me. So
yeah, I'm happy to help you.
Probably not right now though, because I'm gonna go and flop on the floor with the dog.
Yeah, no. Today's not a good day for me.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah.
Like my books are around 200 pages. The longest one is around 300 pages, but then a lot of the books on my shelf are like 300 pages. So, you know, individually they're pretty light, but when you put all 6 of them together, I'm like, yeah, that feels like
that's a meaty book. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if all of this was one book, you'd be like, yeah, that's 600-ish pages. So I'm always like, do I make an omnibus or do I get more money through the individual books? So
that's hard because like I know when I initially was thinking about Bound and Gag under Faye Black, initially I was going to do it like as a short story series.
Yeah.
You know, just for the reason of hoping to get like more dollars. Because they're all 99 cents each, honestly. And then I don't know, because I guess I just don't want to like go that way anymore. I'd rather make like more solid works. But and this is just a pure Caro thing. Like I know some people like to do like the multi-release like that for obvious reasons, especially if you can do it like rapid release. Like, oh, kudos to you.
I rapid released my second trilogy, but I was writing it as I was doing it. And so if I ever did rapid release again, I would have it all written in advance. Because that was stressful.
Yeah. I know some people that write all the way up to the deadline, and I'm like, I would not sleep. And they're like,
I don't write all the way up to the deadline. It's like my hard deadline is a month before, so that I could do a pre-order if I wanted. But I think I'm overdoing pre-orders because they like never do that much for me. So
they used to, and I think what happened is, and this is just an observation from me, don't take it as gospel, and feel free to like argue any of my observations because again I live in a cave most of the time, but like the original intention behind pre-orders was to raise hype for the book, right? And the baseline at the time was that you had 3 months to do publicity for your book. And the reason they wanted you to do 3 months is because if you were able to get enough notice with your pre-orders for your books in that time, then Amazon would do like a feature for it, right? It's like, hey, everybody likes this book. You might like this book too. And that's how it was. And, you know, not to talk too much, you know, smack about my Dark Overlord, but Amazon, you know, Amazon typically will always favor, you know, traditional publishers over indie publishers because of that deal they made back in 2009. And then for those of you in the comment section that don't know, back in 2006, 2007, when Amazon came out with the Kindle stuff where authors could self-publish, indie authors were like doing like great. I knew people that quit their jobs because they were self-publishing their books and they were like making like the top of the searches, and it was hitting the publishing houses really hard. And so, you know, at the time it was the big 6, you know, now it's the big 4, But the big six went to
Times have changed.
yeah, and they're all owned by one guy in Germany. So I'm like, but they went to Amazon and said, this is not okay. We need you to fix this because we distribute through you, right? Because Amazon used to originally be a book distributor. So they cut a deal where the first 10 results that come up were always from traditional publishers, no matter if they were good selling or not. And so people that were able to give up their jobs and do what they love doing, which was writing, had to go back to work because they couldn't make enough to pay rent.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of Amazon, which is why I have gone wide. I started out wide and then I went to KU and now I'm back to wide, and I get sales from Overdrive. I get money from Overdrive. My biggest one is still Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah, and it's just because it's ease of access, because if you look at it from a consumer, like how much work do they want to do to get your product? And everybody usually goes to Amazon because it's the easiest, one-click option. So that, as a material person, I understand and respect. As an author, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I go through Draft to Digital to get into the library apps and things like that, just so that there's something else. And I'm someone who would never be I would never be happy only working for myself. So I'm hopefully, if I'm lucky, always going to have a day job. I mean, I want to be an agent, so that's more than just the day. But so I don't have all my I don't entirely rely on Amazon for my book sales, because I also sell some signed copies through my Ko-fi page. But I'm all and then I get some money from Twitch, and I have a day job. So it's I'm never going to put it all into my author career, but I'm also within that never going to put it all into Amazon.
Yeah, I think when the market is just so volatile too, because the one thing I had to explain to one person, because she was just getting into writing, and feel free to cut me off anytime because I know you're over your 2 hours.
We're going to start the next sprint soon so that I have a little break before recording the podcast episode, but you can finish what you're saying.
Okay. I was talking to one person because she was like, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to write full time. And you have to ask the obvious questions. Do you already have a guaranteed market? Are the people willing to sell, buy your product? How often are you coming out with the product? And she's like,
you have a cushion.
Yeah. I have to, you have to ask all those questions. And then I also had to tell her, I was like, I don't know if you're ready for this, but being an author is not like working for, Joe Sam, because Joe Sam will pay you bi-weekly or monthly, right? Being an author is kind of like being a YouTuber, in the sense that maybe 1 month you'll make $10 and then the next month you'll make $2,000, right? It's not steady.
And that's assuming you get anything.
Yeah. So
and in the whole thing, you're essentially creating a small business, even if you never register as one for tax benefits or whatever.
Sole proprietorship, it just automatically happens anyway. So yeah,
but it's I feel like people don't understand what a sole proprietorship is, and I think people also don't put in enough effort if they hear that sometimes. We do, obviously, because we understand, but I feel like some people are I can just do whatever I want. And I was like, no, you should be acting as if this is a business, because if this is your only source of income, you need to treat it like a business.
Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, it's a different mindset, and I kind of get it. It's I just want to create and make things and have people like my stuff and give me 5 stars, so that way I feel good as a person. Okay, no, it's not gonna I'm sorry.
It's sorry, okay, I get your need for validation. We all have it to different degrees, but. Yeah, you can't be I'm going to write full time and then be with all my free time, I'm going to see my friends and not do the work. And it's you made this choice and that was your choice to make, but
hashtag author problem, man.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, we're going to start our final sprint. I mentioned my Ko-fi page a few times. I have Ko-fi coaching. I have a Ko-fi guide for writers if you don't want to pay me for one-on-one, which is fine. But a one-on-one is obviously much more personalized for your content and what you want to do, the time you have, ideas, whatever. I also have Scrivener keyboard shortcut stickers that are available for pre-order. And I need to get like enough people to buy them before I can order them because it's a lot of money. And then I sell my signed paperbacks, and I have a PDF of my outlining method. I will be coming out with a PDF guide for Scrivener, a crash course type of thing. Yeah, so my Ko-fi page, great place to follow me. You can follow me for free. If you support me at any of the tiers, you get some perks. The highest tier gets the best perks and the most perks. Yeah, so that's what's currently in the ticker, and we're going to start our final sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. that was the end of our final sprint. How did you do, Caro?
I did okay. I did a little bit more planning, and then one of my friends sent me a really cute video of a baby husky getting its first bath. So that was my daily dopamine fix. So
Oh, that's so cute.
I know. I was like, oh my god, this is precious. Look at this baby.
Aww. I did more of like admin stuff. So productive for me. None of the homework I had planned to do, but I'm going to do that later. And I might stream later today on Twitch. Maybe it would be in the afternoon Eastern time, or maybe evening. I have no idea. So if you want to follow me there, please do. But I am trying to get monetized on here. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Yeah.
I am mostly just doing live streams again because I now have a full-time job. So streaming 3 times a week like I was isn't working for me anymore. So yeah, and I hope everyone had a productive time during the stream, however long you were here. My other 2 co-hosts who showed up had to leave because they were house hunting today, but they were Barrett Laurie and Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, who are their Ko-fi pages are linked down below. And Caro, do you want to do your outro?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, my name is Tekia Pitts. I'm an urban fantasy author. I wrote those books on the wall over there. If you'd like to support me, that is definitely an option. You can find all of those on Amazon. I came here to get my life together, and I did that. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be responsible on a weekend.
Woo! And if you're new here, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. All of these are available at my Ko-fi shop as signed paperbacks, but you can also buy the paperbacks from Amazon, and I also believe Barnes and Noble, and then the ebooks are basically everywhere they're sold. And I am the co-host of the Write-ish podcast, Write-ish, and it should be on most podcasting platforms. And yeah, I will see you all maybe later today on Twitch, but definitely on some streams this coming weekend. I'm not hosting my own because it is the Worldwide Write-a-thon on the 19th and the 20th, but I will be on Holly Davis's stream on the 19th, and I will be on Natalie Locke's on Sunday. I'm like, name is blanking. If you go to zarahoffman.com, I list all the events that I'm in individually, whereas if you go to my Ko-fi page, it has an image of the days that I'm streaming, but it's not necessarily super specific. So hope everyone had a good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and I will see you soon-ish. Bye.
Bye.